Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Somna Saga's another quiet journey into a world of calm. Tonight, we'll wander through a gentle valley, a place called Elderglow, tucked beneath ancient hills where time seems to pause. This is a story for rest, for letting your thoughts soften and drift like leaves on a slow-moving stream. There's no hurry here, no need to hold on to the details. Just settle into a comfortable place, let your breathing slow, and imagine a world where days unfold in quiet, predictable ways. If your mind wanders, that's perfectly fine. These words are here to guide you towards sleep, like a soft breeze carrying you gently along. Picture a valley where the sun rises slowly, casting a golden glow over fields and stone walls, where people long ago lived simple lives, leaving traces we might never fully understand. Perhaps you're listening from a cozy room, or maybe you're under a blanket with the night sky just outside. What does the air feel like where you are? Is it cool and still, or warm with the hum of evening? Let's begin, shall we, in the quiet of Elderglow, where the past whispers softly, waiting for no one to answer. In the valley of Elderglow, the morning begins with a gentle light. The sun creeps over the hills, its rays touching the dew on the grass, making the fields shimmer like a sea of tiny stars. The people of the valley, whose names have long been forgotten, rise slowly from their homes of stone and wood. Their houses are simple, built with care, the stones fitted together so tightly that not even a blade of grass could slip between them. These stones, some say, were placed long before the people we know, by hands we cannot name, carved with a precision that seems almost too perfect for the tools of the time. The valley is quiet, save for the soft rustle of leaves and the distant trickle of a stream. Each morning, the people walk the same paths, their feet pressing into the earth where countless others have walked before. They carry baskets woven from reeds, heading to the fields where crops grow in neat rows. The crops, grains and roots, perhaps maize or sweet potatoes, brought from faraway lands no one remembers, seem to thrive in this valley, as if someone long ago knew exactly how to tend them. Maybe it was the people of Elderglow, or maybe it was someone before them, someone who left only the seeds behind. The air smells of damp earth and blooming flowers. A woman pauses to adjust her basket, her hands moving slowly, deliberately, as if there's all the time in the world. She looks at the sky, noting the position of the sun, just as her ancestors did, just as others might have done thousands of years before, tracking the same stars to know when to plant. The hills around her are dotted with stones, some carved with spirals, patterns that appear in far-off places too, as if someone carried the idea across oceans or mountains. No one in Elderglow asks why. It's just the way things are, the way they've always been. Near the stream that winds through Elderglow, there's a circle of stones, old and weathered, standing like silent sentinels. They're not tall, not grand, but they're placed with care, aligned to the point where the sun rises on the longest day of the year. Archaeologists might tell you such alignments show a knowledge of the sky, a way to mark the solstices or track the stars, a skill that seems almost too advanced for a simple valley. The people of Elderglow don't think about that. They walk past the stones every day, their edges smoothed by centuries of rain and wind. A man stops to rest by the circle, setting down his tools, a chisel, a hammer, both made of stone, though one has a strange mark, a groove that suggests a tool we don't expect here. Something that might have come from a place we haven't named. He sits on a flat stone, watching the water move slowly, its surface catching the light. The stream is steady, its path carved long ago, perhaps by people who knew how to shape the land, who built channels to guide the water, channels that seemed too precise for the time. Maybe they were here, maybe they weren't. The man doesn't wonder. He just watches the water, his thoughts as calm as the current. If you were to stand by this stream, you might notice how the stones seem to fit into the landscape, as if they belong to the earth itself. You might wonder who placed them, who carried them from quarries far away, or whether they were moved by hands we'll never know. The valley doesn't answer. It just holds the stones, the stream, the quiet morning light, and lets you rest there too. In the fields of Elderglow, the people work slowly, their hands moving through the soil, planting seeds, pulling weeds, tending to crops that have grown here for generations. The plants are familiar. Grains, tubers, perhaps cotton or sweet potatoes. Crops that shouldn't be here, some say, because their origins lie across vast oceans in lands too far for anyone to have reached so long ago. Botanists might tell you these plants are clues, signs of ancient journeys, of trade routes that stretched further than we thought, carrying seeds from one side of the world to another. A young girl kneels in the dirt, her fingers brushing against a root. She doesn't know that the crop she tends might have come from a people who sailed across seas, who knew how to navigate by the stars, whose ships now lie beneath the waves, hidden by the ocean's vast archive. The ocean, they say, swallowed entire cities when the ice melted thousands of years ago, covering valleys and coasts where people once lived. Sonar has found shapes down there, walls perhaps, or docks, hints of lives we can't quite name. The girl doesn't think of this. She just hums softly, her voice blending with the breeze. The fields stretch out, green and orderly, each row a testament to someone's care, someone's knowledge of seasons and soil. Maybe it was the people of Elderglow, or maybe it was someone before them, someone who left no monuments, only the plants that still grow. The hills watch over it all, their slopes hiding other secrets. Bones, perhaps, with traces of DNA that link to distant peoples, to Neanderthals or Denisovans. or even to a ghost population we haven't found yet. Before we continue, dear listener, let's pause for a moment. Picture where you are right now. Maybe you're lying in bed, the room dim, the air cool against your skin. Maybe there's a window nearby, letting in the soft glow of moonlight, or the hum of a quiet street. What do you hear? A distant car, the rustle of leaves, or just the stillness of the night? If you're drifting, that's okay. This story is here to hold you gently, to let you rest. If you're enjoying this quiet journey, perhaps you might like this video or subscribe to this channel. It's a small gesture, like placing a pebble on a path, helping others find this calm space. No rush, no pressure, just a thought as we return to Elderglow. In a small house by the hills, a group of weavers work slowly, their hands moving over looms made of wood and bone. The cloth they make is fine, dyed with colors that seem to last forever. Colors made from plants that grow far from here. Plants that shouldn't be in this valley, some say, because their roots trace back to distant lands. Chemists might tell you these dyes are a mystery, their recipes lost, their ingredients carried by traders who knew paths we haven't mapped. The weavers don't speak much. They work in rhythm, their fingers threading the warp and weft, creating patterns of spirals and stars, the same spirals found on stones in far-off places, as if someone long ago shared the design. One weaver pauses, adjusting the loom, her movements careful, unhurried. She doesn't know that the technique she uses might have come from a people who traveled widely, who left their mark in cloth and stone and story. The hills outside are quiet, their slopes hiding ruins, walls perhaps, or foundations, built with stones too large, too perfect for the tools we think were used. Archaeologists might say these stones were reused, taken from older structures by hands we can't name, their precision a clue to a forgotten skill. The weavers don't wonder about this. They just work, their looms creaking softly, the cloth growing inch by inch as the day moves on. As evening falls in Elderglow, the sky darkens, revealing stars that have watched this valley for millennia. The people gather by the stream, looking up, their eyes tracing patterns in the night, constellations perhaps, or a single bright star that marks the time to harvest. Astronomers might tell you these patterns were known long ago, that structures here and elsewhere align with the solstice or a star's rising, showing a knowledge of the sky that stretches back further than we expect. An old man points to the stars, his voice low, telling a story of a great flood, a tale shared by people across the world, as if they all remember the same waters rising, covering lands now lost beneath the sea. The story feels old, older than the valley, older than the hills, carrying whispers of a time when someone taught others to watch the sky, to plant by its rhythms. The stars don't change, not really. They're the same stars someone saw thousands of years ago, guiding ships across oceans, marking seasons in valleys like this one. The people of Elderglow don't ask who first named the stars. They just watch, their breath slow, their thoughts quiet. The night wraps around them, cool and gentle, and the valley feels like it's always been this way, always will be. Beyond the valley, a path winds through the hills, worn smooth by feet that carried goods. Shells from a distant coast, obsidian from a far-off mountain, beads made of stones not found here. Archaeologists might say these goods point to trade routes, networks that stretched further than we thought, connecting people who never wrote their names. A trader walks this path now, his pack heavy with tools and cloth, his steps slow and steady. He stops to rest, setting his pack on a stone carved with a spiral, a symbol seen in places too far apart to explain easily. Maybe it's coincidence, or maybe someone carried it here. Someone who knew how to cross seas or mountains. Someone whose ships now rest underwater, hidden by the ocean's cold embrace. The trader doesn't think of this. He just adjusts his pack, looks at the path ahead, and continues, his shadow blending with the dusk. The path is quiet now, but it holds memories of goods exchanged, stories told, seeds planted in new soil. Maybe the trader's tools, his cloth, his beads, came from a people who traveled widely, who left their mark in small things, things that last when cities fade. Let's pause again, dear listener. Take a moment to notice your breathing, the way it slows, the way your body feels heavier, sinking into rest. Are you warm under a blanket or cool with a window open? Is the room quiet, or do you hear the soft hum of the world outside? This story is here to cradle you, to let you drift without worry. If you're finding comfort in this journey, perhaps you'd like to tap the like button or subscribe. It's a small way to share this calm with others, like leaving a light on for someone walking home. No hurry, just a thought. Let's return to Elderglow, where the night is deepening. High in the hills above Elderglow, there are ruins, low walls, scattered stones, some so large they seem impossible to move. The people of the valley rarely climb here, but when they do, they walk carefully, as if the stones hold secrets. Archaeologists might tell you these walls are older than they seem, their foundations built with a skill we don't expect. Stones fitted so perfectly, they stand through earthquakes and storms. Maybe they were built by the people of Elderglow, or maybe by someone before them, someone whose tools we can't name. A boy wanders among the stones, tracing a spiral carving with his finger. The spiral is familiar, seen in far-off lands, on cliffs and caves, as if someone long ago shared the pattern. The boy doesn't wonder why. He just sits, watching the stars appear, their light touching the stones as it has for centuries. The ruins are quiet, blending with the hills, their edges softened by time. They don't shout their story. They just wait, as if they know someone someday might listen. At night, the people of Elderglow gather by a fire, their voices low, telling stories of strangers who came long ago, bringing seeds, tools, ways to read the stars. These stories are old, passed down through countless voices, their details blurred, but their shape the same. Anthropologists might say these tales hold truths, memories of a flood that covered the land, of a people who taught others how to build or sail, then vanished. The stories are like myths, half real, half dreamed, but they carry echoes of something true. A woman tells of a city beneath the sea, lost when the waters rose, a tale shared by people far beyond this valley. She doesn't know that the ocean hides such places, that sonar has found walls and roads beneath the waves, signs of lives we can't name. The fire crackles, its light dancing on the faces around it, and the stories go on, soft and steady, lulling the listeners into a quiet peace. As the night deepens, Elderglow sleeps, its fields and stones resting under the stars. The people here don't know that their crops, their tools, their stories might come from a people long forgotten, a people who sailed or walked or built, leaving only traces, a seed, a spiral, a stone. Geneticists might say their DNA holds clues, links to distant peoples, to ghost populations we haven't found, to Neanderthals or Denisovans who walked long before. The valley doesn't ask these questions. It just holds its secrets, its routines, its quiet days. The people plant, weave, walk the paths, and watch the sky, as others did before them, as others might do long after. The hills stand watch, the stream flows on, and the stars keep their patterns, unchanging, eternal. Maybe the people of Elderglow are part of a larger story, one we haven't pieced together yet. Maybe their lives are built on foundations laid by hands we'll never name. It doesn't matter to them. They just live, day by day, in the quiet of the valley. And so, dear listener, our time in Elderglow comes to a close. The valley rests now, its fields dark, its stones silent under the stars. There's no need to hold on to the story, no need to answer its questions. Let it slip away, like a dream you don't quite remember. If you're drifting towards sleep, that's just right. Let the quiet of this place carry you there, soft and gentle. If you found comfort in this journey, perhaps you might like to tap the like button or subscribe to this channel. It's a small, quiet gesture, like placing a pebble on a path, helping others find this calm space to rest. No rush, no pressure, just a gentle thought to share this peace. Picture the hills of Elderglow, the stream, the stars all waiting quietly, as they always have. Thank you for wandering with me tonight. Until we meet again, rest well, and let the world's gentle mysteries hold you close. Good night.